What is happening, YouTube and all you Dolphins fans out there? In today's video, I want to talk about the Miami Dolphins' upcoming draft, but more importantly, I want to talk about their approach and possible selection of a quarterback in the first round of the draft. Today's video is about two talented quarterbacks that are absolute locks to go early in the draft, and those prospects are Jordan Love from Utah State and Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. Today, I'd like to make the case for the Dolphins bypassing on selecting Tua and taking the ultra-talented Jordan Love instead to be the franchise's next possible franchise quarterback. So, as we move closer and closer to the draft during this lengthy pre-draft process, the narrative among Dolphins fans and a majority of the media is that the Dolphins are the team that's most likely to take Tua in the upcoming draft in Las Vegas. The main narrative around the league is the Dolphins will indeed be taking Tua 5th overall, possibly earlier, probably 3rd overall if his medical does check out at the combine. But he's a possible franchise quarterback that we haven't had since Dan Marino retired. Over the last year or so, Tua, without a doubt, has been my guy for the Dolphins. His just overall blend of elite traits on the football field are undeniable. The natural talent to play the quarterback position just really jumps off the screen whenever he steps on the field. On top of all this, his makeup as a man is just truly rare to come by these days. The natural leadership just really oozes out of him, and he's incredibly humble despite the position he's in as one of the best players coming out of the draft this year. He has an incredibly strong sense of family and faith, which is to be expected when growing up in a Samoan family, and especially growing up in Hawaii. His character is just as rock solid as they come. He reminds you of like a Russell Wilson or a Drew Brees, especially off the field. Overall, as a prospect, the evaluation just couldn't be easier, and it's clear that Tua will be a tremendous football player at the next level. But obviously, after that absolutely devastating hip injury in November, the evaluation on Tua has changed, and the risk of taking him in the draft has raised significantly. With Tua, it really just all comes down to the medical at the combine. If the hip is cleared and he's cleared to play football again and he's 100% healthy, I'll feel a lot more confident and comfortable with Tua as the next franchise quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. But until then, until the combine comes around, I'm going to hold off on the all systems I go Tua train, which is obviously incredibly prevalent with Miami Dolphins fans. In this video, like I said before, I want to make the case for the Dolphins taking former Utah State quarterback Jordan Love in the first round of the draft, possibly with the 5th or the 18th overall selection. I definitely don't think he's going to last till the 26th overall pick. I think there's no chance he's going to fall that far in the first round, especially after teams see him at the combine. I think he's going to absolutely tear it up, and he's going to tear up his pro day. I think he's going to help himself tremendously. But yeah, I want to make the case for taking Love instead of Tua early in the draft, bypassing a talented quarterback for another. Jordan Love as a quarterback prospect is intriguing as it gets. At 6'4", 225 pounds, he's just the perfect desired size that everyone is looking for at the position. Jordan Love just really has all the traits and ability that you'd expect from a franchise quarterback. His style of play at times reminds you of Patrick Mahomes. He's just a pure playmaker that can make the impossible look easy. Love's arm, in my opinion, is just unbelievable. He can really make some eye-popping throws. He throws to all 3 levels of the field with ease, and with timing, touch, and accuracy. Not only is he great from the pocket, but he also thrives when extending plays out of the pocket. He throws on the move with beautiful accuracy and hits targets across the whole field. All throws just are truly available to him because of the pure velocity that he gets on the ball. I'm not sure if he played baseball in the past, because the way he can sling it around, he sure reminds you of a pitcher. I've definitely got to look that up. He's a plus athlete that just has no trouble evading defenders. The way he glides around the field just reminds me of a Deshaun Watson, maybe a slightly faster Deshaun Watson. That's how athletic he is. His pocket presence and athleticism almost always gets him out of trouble. Jordan Love just truly is a two-way threat, which is perfect for today's NFL. The league over the last couple of years has truly transformed into a league that requires quarterbacks to be able to win from the pocket and off script. This past season for Jordan Love wasn't his best compared to the terrific season he had in 2018. He did have a productive season this year in terms of yardage, throwing for 3,400 yards compared to 3,500 in 2018. The touchdowns did drop significantly in 2019. He did throw 20 this year compared to 32 in 2018. The most glaring stat for Jordan Love this past collegiate season were the turnovers, the interceptions. He threw a whopping 17 interceptions in 2019 compared to only giving up 6 picks in 2018. So obviously he had a dip in play, but in my opinion, that was just due to a number of factors that were just completely out of Jordan Love's control. The coaching staff left the team. Oh, I should say the head coach left the team after they had a very successful season, winning 11 games that year. He lost 3 receivers, I think to the draft or graduation, whatever it might be, but that didn't help that he lost all of his targets at once. And also Darwin Thompson left Utah State for the NFL, so that didn't help either. But yeah, just losing his main weapons, just coming into a new offense and, having a slight change of scenery, even though he was at the same college, but, just having new guys around, the new coaching staff, he obviously didn't feel as comfortable, and that's why, his 2019 season wasn't as good as the year before. I mean, he had a decent season. He threw for 3,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, but just those 17 picks just seem to be a thorn in a lot of evaluators' side and fans' side. They seem to be, just stuck on the 17 turnovers and can't seem to just evaluate Love for the prospect that he is, and that is an incredibly talented quarterback. Obviously, Love, I think he's going to need a year to develop behind a veteran quarterback, and what better quarterback to do that than Ryan Fitzpatrick? He's definitely shown that he's comfortable with mentoring younger quarterbacks. I think that, his relationship with Josh Rosen was great this year. We've seen guys like Ben Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers just be absolutely opposed to mentoring younger quarterbacks. They've said multiple times that they don't want to be around when the team, picks the next franchise quarterback high in the draft. But I think Jordan Love coming into the Dolphins situation would be absolutely perfect, and Ryan Fitzpatrick would just teach him how to be a pro, how to learn the offense, how to watch film, just preparing for a defense, cleaning up your diet, being a leader in the locker room. I think that Fitzpatrick would help with all these aspects, and it would be a perfect place for Jordan Love to develop and turn into the best possible franchise quarterback that he could be. We saw it, be successful with the Chiefs. I'm not saying that Jordan Love is no Mahomes, but just Patrick Mahomes learning behind Alex Smith, I think, just really prepared him to be the great quarterback that we saw in his second year and that we saw in his third year winning the Super Bowl. He was unbelievable. He definitely was the best quarterback this year and the best player in the NFL, and he just showed that he was a great leader out there. And that's one thing I want to say. With Jordan Love, at the moment, I'm not really sure what kind of a leader he is, what kind of a personality he has. I heard at the Combine that he has a bit of a confident, kind of cocky personality. He's very sure about himself, but listening to him on the Move to Sticks podcast, he just sounds like a really humble guy. I think he lost his dad when he was like 12, 13, 14 years old. So he said if he was able to overcome that he thinks that he'll be able to, take on whatever the NFL is going to throw his way. And he just sounds like an intelligent, confident player that can possibly handle life in the NFL. Now, there is a bit of a concern there when a player has a dip in production from year to year. But as I said, there were factors that Jordan couldn't control. So I think that when you evaluate Jordan Love, the best tape to look at is his 2018 tape, because that was when he was surrounded by the best possible talent to show off his own talent. So I think that it's incredibly unjust to judge Jordan Love by only his tape from this previous season. In my opinion, if Jordan Love is brought along the right way, if he's developed the right way, and if he's brought into the right situation, I think that he can be an incredible quarterback to lead an offense. You can just see all the natural talent in the world that oozes out of him. That arm and also the just athletic ability. I think that he can really thrive in the league and You saw a guy like this previous season, Drew Lock. He had time to develop. I mean, he didn't start for the Broncos until I think maybe week 12 or 13, something like that. And he really showed some promise. He showed that arm. He just showed that ability to just make things happen on the football field. He's got that elite arm to just sling it anywhere on the field, and showed that he could be a possible franchise quarterback for the Broncos moving forward. And I really think that Jordan Love can be even better than Drew Lock. I mean, he's a better athlete. I mean, Drew Lock did have the record for the most touchdowns in the SEC, so that's something that Jordan Love, doesn't have on his resume at the moment. But I just truly believe that he can be the kind of gunslinger to average over 250 yards a game and just lead the offense to 30 points a game and just dominate on that side of the ball. Now, by all means, this doesn't mean that I'm ready to kick Tua to the curb and crown Jordan Love the next savior of the Dolphins, but rather just another alternative for the team to select a young quarterback to come in and be the elite talent that we have sorely missed at the position for 2 decades now. A guy that can elevate the play of everyone around him on offense and just lead the team deep into the postseason. Everything from this point forward is just all about the medical for Tua at the Combine. If he checks out and all is good, I'll definitely be looking at the draft with a different lens. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Leave some feedback in the comments section. I'm sure there are a lot of guys that are pro Tua or pro Jordan Love. I just always love hearing from you guys. And I'll see you folks in the next video. And don't forget, as always, it's fins up, baby. Cheers, guys.